Moments away from kickoff, Sutherland Sharks and St George FC. It is a very good afternoon and welcome to Seymour Shore Stadium. Match week 3 of the NPL Men's New South Wales as the Sutherland Sharks, the most talked about team during the summer, who currently sit in 14th place against St George FC, who decided to put a bomb a couple of weeks ago before the season started by putting out there. Terry Antonis has joined the club. So we have got a big game for you. St George, of course, sitting in 4th. That round 1 victory against Wollongong 3-0. And we have got an absolute treat. Seymour Shore is buzzing. At least 1,500 here. The expectation is about 2. And it is a warm afternoon around Miranda. Let's go through the lineups for the home team. It is Daniel Nizic, the goalkeeper, number 1. And then Lachlan McDonald, Yanni Nicolau, Theus Van Ummergen, Riley Hollandale, Takumi Afuka, Tarik Maya, Yuto Kokoro. Jamie Projevski is back. That's the big story after that incident in week 1. Jacob McLaughlin and Nick Olsen. That's the starting 11 for Sutherland. For St George, Nick Soros, the goalkeeper, Jaden Sito, Nicholas Calageru, Justin Poon, Evan Soros, Jake True, Jaden Casella, Kaiden Wright, Kota Tuyuka, Terry Antonis, and Christopher McStay. Noticing Daniel Nizic wearing the brownish goalkeeper shirt today, which is a very nice kit too, I might note. And you expect this one to be an absolute humdinger. As I said, St George, week 1, a good win. Week 2, it was a draw against their rivals in City. And then this week, another derby. And this is honestly going to be a cracking game. So much has been said about how Perkovic's side has gone and said, 2 weeks, no win yet, panic stations, all that. Speaking to Perko before the game, and he basically said, we're not listening to the criticism and the like. We know what we're doing. We know our situation. And I think heading into tonight's game, I think they're a good chance of proving the doubters wrong. So we're not too far away from kickoff, and we're underway with Sutherland defending the right of screen in the first half. St George winning the ball in the turn. Interesting to see how McStay goes today. Joined the club after time at Wollongong. It was an ex-Sutherland player too, I might note, as Calageru works it back. Sito going forward, that pass. Eventually, Wright tries to beat his defender, works it to his left. Laid back by Poon. Calageru on halfway. Calageru again. Controlled by Casella. Ball played out, or played down by Theus. And now it's Calageru back to his keeper, Nicolasaurus, a former Olympic player. Spent time at Rockdale. Tuyuka across the face. Caligiero decides to roll it forward. Good work by Casella. Casella works his way in the area. Ball comes in, spills away. Cleared eventually by McDonald. But there was panic stations. Will be a corner. Already the pressure by St George immense early. We know how dangerous FC can be. And showing it at the moment. Nicholas Kutniak with you on a warm Saturday afternoon in the Shire. McStay works it in. Head of the way, Pachevsky. Eventually Pachevsky works it to his right. But St George still have possession. Ball worked into the mixer. Head of the way by Theus. St George will now have the throw. Played forward again by Tuyuka. Cut away by Theus. Be interesting to see how Theus does adapt to the Sutherland way of playing. And also the New South Wales way. I say that because the Netherland-born player had some time at Dandenong last year. And the NPL Victoria is now spinning around, looking to work it across here. Kashima, a late change by the looks of it in the starting lineup. Now, Tuyuka has possession. McStay working it forward, but the flag goes up for offside. True. It's Wollongong player. Spent time at Marconi last year. Set up a nice goal a few weeks ago. You know what delightful balls he can offer up. Daniel Nezic. Thanks again. Back to Nezic. Meyer trying to get himself in a good area. He's taken down the challenge, Riley Hollingdale. Wanderer Junior. Last night in the NPL Men's New South Wales, there was a victory, or I should say a victory in the 20s to Apia 2-1. But in first grade, 2-2. Manly and Apia. So another draw for Manly. After the performance against Blacktown last week, it was a good draw there. We'll go through the games in progress at the moment in the NPL Men's New South Wales. Sutherland looking to offer a raid. We know what Olsen can deliver. He has to do some work here, Saurus, but he leaps high. Work by Nick Saurus. So 1-0 University of New South Wales and SD Raiders after 21 minutes. No score after 3 minutes between Spirit and Sydney FC. As now he's on a run, Afuka. Can he cut back inside? In position again. McLaughlin trying to work it back in. Pachevsky trying a good ball. Eventually it's played back by Meyer. Sutherland, good exchanges of passes. Quick along the ground. McLaughlin back. Nice ball by Nicolau. Taking down the challenges, Afuka. Now, let's see if it's just a warning here. He's been called over. Poon, I think you'll find he's walking away. He's walking away. The referee's calling him up now. So I think it's just going to be a warning. He hasn't gone to the pocket yet. Now Tarek Meyer alongside Nick Olsen, both on the ball. Olsen, of course, an ex-Sutherland player, coming back to the club. Last year, around about this time, his son was born. He scored that unique brace at two different venues, Wynn and Macedonia Park, as Olsen decides to go short. Meyer now on the right foot, gets it in. Chance! Save made! Still an opportunity. Nicolau outside the area. Good pressure by Cito. And the ball eventually goes out. So a corner for Sutherland. So on the Boulevard side of the ground, you can see the jumping castle here. It's family day at Seymour Shore. Olsen kills this one. The header was high and over the top by Jamie Pachevsky. Both sides have had their chances, no question about it. Week 3 of what has been an interesting competition thus far. I suppose a lot of people trying to work out how it sits. Sydney United, after the first couple of weeks, appear to be the front runners. But how easy that can change. Thesaurus, down the right side he goes. Casella tried to control, McLaughlin worked it up. And the ball by Fuka. St George towards halfway. McStay tried to control. Taking down the challengers, Kokoro. Another free kick about 5 yards inside halfway. Ball worked back by Thias. Meyer across. Now Gann. It's great to see some Sydney FC players on the field at the moment. Brendan Gann, we know what he did at the club many, many moons ago. Casella trying to work it on. McStay can't get to it. McLaughlin able to work it back. Thias works it across the face. And now again it's Nicolau. Again, of course, playing more forward on the bench, I should note. So I'm getting my Nicolaus and Gans in my head, but I was mentioning the fact that Gans in that lineup. So McDonald throws it over halfway. Good work by Caligeru. Now it's Cito over halfway. Pachevsky. McLaughlin now has it on the left. Thias. Now Pachevsky again. Now Nicolau on the right. Ball goes towards the 18-yard box, trying to get to a Tarek Meyer. Cleared away by Caligeru. Now the opportunity has gone begging initially. Still alive here. Tarek Meyer back. Olsen outside the area. They're building again. McDonald down the right. And the ball eventually goes back to Meyer. Sutherland will have possession again. Fires again, working to Pachevsky. Nicolau. McDonald. Nicolau again. Nizic over halfway. McStay. And the challenge alongside Kokoro. The ball goes out for a throw. Thias again. Pachevsky. Nicolau. Kokoro. Pachevsky again, Nicolau. Back to Pachevsky. Thias again. 10 yards from halfway. Game just building here. Meyer. Thias again. Over halfway. Fuka was on a half run. And the ball goes out for a goal kick. Couple of things to note. Of course, as we mentioned before, Sutherland, who were spoken about over the summer period. And we mentioned the results thus far this season. 2 losses, United last week and Spirit the week before. And something that has to be mentioned is St George is on the attack. And here's the shot. Well, Justin Poon, it was millimetres. Going to the wrong side of the netting. What I was going to make mention of is the fact that Sutherland yet to have a point this season and a goal scored by them this year. Or one, I should say. They haven't scored more than one. They scored that last week. But the fact is, no wins or draws yet. Same as University of New South Wales and SD Raiders. Today, potentially, 2 of those teams will have points to their name. And also to note, Sutherland, one of the 2 teams that have yet to get a player in the match of the play of the year standings, which is important to note. Neither the team of the week, for that matter. So now True. Here's a shot, but the foul was called. And he's not happy about that, True. Right at his chance, though. Went bigging. Kokoro. Over halfway. McLaughlin's on the run. McLaughlin. Ball scoots back for True. True now has got Casella on a run. That's back inside. True. Works it wide. Way wide. Well, it was in between a shot and a cross. Poon was not going to get to it. It was nowhere near the goal. Sutherland on the attack. Nicolau back. And this goes back to his keeper, Nizic. Pachevsky heads it up. Ball works back from Kashima. So we know Antonis isn't on the field. As I said, change made. Now, Casella works it across. Cito. Jaden Cito. Lefty goes. Poon is calling for the ball. You can see him near Nicolau. Could be an option. Stay works it back. By the way, whoever's got the music on, I like that. Some the music being played in the background. There's McStay working it back, and there's the ball on from Kashima. Flag was up for offside. So no score here at Seymour Shore. And we can tell you that Spirit and Sydney, no score after 15 and 33 gone first half. University of New South 1, SD Raiders 0. All games on YouTube, live and on demand. Football New South Wales on YouTube. Your favourite website with the words "you" in front of it. There's Nizic working it to his left. Thiers now plays it across. Nizic now looking to work it down the right side. McDonald can't get to it. Played down initially by Sito. He's got possession again from the Saurus pass. And now it's an opportunity again for McStay. McStay trying to twist in position. Sutherland defence gives away a foul. Won't be happy with the call in that situation, Kokoro. Overcast conditions on the eastern side of the ground, I should know. I know that I was expecting rain on the west of Sydney before. I don't know if that hit or is hitting. Set piece to be taken. Casella and McStay both on the ball. McStay. Punched away by Nizic. Goes out for a throw. It was a decent effort. Just not to be. Shima, nice twist. McStay again. Shima. Saurus. Sito. Nice work, Poon. Poon. Defence solid. Hit it back from Tuyuka. Lajeru. So the 21st minute. No score. McStay. Outside the area, McStay. Calling for runners. Works it back to Sito. Ball inside by Saurus. Sito tried to control. He was taken without the ball. Foul will be called the way of St George FC. Good to see. And it shows how big of a crowd it is when... And I don't think I've ever been at a game here at Seymour Shore when you've had the hill starting to be packed up. Like, it's not huge, but people sitting on the hill on the southern side, and on the eastern side, people are sitting on the seat benches, which is awesome. The grandstand is full to the brim. The northern end clubhouse is also full as Now McStay gets onto the end of it. Wayward right, misses. But this is what has been spoken about, the changes that have been made at Seymour Shaw. Rourke and his troops are making sure this becomes a big hub for football in this area. And another must-have seat. As we know, Rugby League has been king in this area, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks, but the Sutherland Sharks NPL side want to make sure people know that they are a great alternate in this area. Especially at this time of the year, like, even though it's overcast, it's great beach weather. Hollingdale gets possession. Ifuka. It's Kalajeru initially. Sito was on him, but able to work it back, and McDonald found support. Maya. Kukuyo has possession, now goes to Olsen. Now the ball back inside. Well, there's cries from Sutherland that there could have been a foul there. Hollingdale was taken from that McLaughlin ball. I'll tell you what, it was a decent effort. You could say kind of a chance gone begging. Saurus over halfway. Now goes the way of St George FC. We're going to check the Pachevsky. We're keeping an eye on Jamie Pachevsky. The big news is he is playing today, obviously. Now an opportunity for McStay to build for St George FC. Goes back. Now right. Casella laying it back now for Kalajeru. Bias. Olsen. Good ball. Hollingdale's onside. Save made first time. Saurus made sure he was large. And that's great keeping too, because it was just him against Hollingdale. And if Hollingdale beat him, it was good night. McStay. Goes out for a Cito throw. Right, works it back. Yuka. Saurus. McStay. McStay. True. True now. Works it back to McStay. Can't control. McStay once more. Working it to his left. Poon. Works it inside. Cleared away by Thias. Olsen. The player of the year last year in the NPL Men's New South Wales. What a performance he had last season. Was involved in the Australian Championship side for Wollongong last year. We all remember the Yamamura goal last year. Against South Hobart for Wollongong as McStay works it back. Now Kashima. Kashima trying to work it across, couldn't. Olsen taking down the challenge, yet foul called. Right, gives it away. Scores around the grounds. University of New South Wales lead SD Raiders 1-0 after 43. Now this is an interesting scoreline. Spirit 0, Sydney FC 1. So the Sydney FC Youth Sky Blues leading that game early against Spirit. The eyes on the premiers from last year. Change obviously with David Perkovic now here in the Shire. McStay to his left. Ball goes out for a throw.
Entrance, this the Pulse and SKG Services sign is the Raw Store Pepe Pizza Store. Go check it out. Pizza, always good for you. Have a pizza.
Shima spoken about what he's been able to do so far for St George. Starting the game, initially scheduled on the bench. Turner's back on the bench, we believe. Haven't heard any more in regards to that. We'll keep you posted when we know. Pachevsky. Thias. Olsen. McLaughlin. Meyer. Nice ball. At the end, just couldn't get his feet in position. Mafuka, we know what he can produce. Kumi Afuka, Wollongong Wolves in 23 and 24 before he went to Spirit last year. Ball goes skyward. Goes out for a throw. Bias. Nicolau. McDonald on the run. Works it in. Can get the flick first time. Afuka then goes over the bar. An opportunity gone begging for Takumi Afuka once more, but Sutherland starting to create some chances. Sutherland through Olsen. Nice ball. Meyer, Hollingdale. Wright can't get to him first time. Oh, that was an interesting challenge by McStay. Cards coming out. Chris McStay, I think, will get the yellow card. A fight has escalated. It's just pushes and shoves. They'll settle it all down. It was not great by McStay. We'll see what the call is in a moment. McStay being told for that challenge you're getting a yellow. He's still arguing the point. Now he's having a chat with a couple of the Sutherland players now. Just having a look at it. It's the right call made by the referee. Now Olsen is alongside Tarek Meyer. Do you go for an outswinger or an in-swinger? We're starting to pick up just a touch at Seymour to alleviate some of the heat here, the humidity. Olsen works it. It's a nice delivery. And the touch last from St George sees the corner go the way of Sutherland's. It's a lovely ball, wasn't it? Nick Olsen, just watching it, he actually, for a left footer, you expect an outswinger, but it's starting to swing a little bit back in. It was actually really nice. It's like watching a goal kicker in rugby league. Use the reverse footed example of like a Jonathan Thurston. It's really nice. Olsen works it in. Ball drops in position, the save made. Saurus, well, Pachevsky was looking to get his opener, but touches off St George, take two. Matthias was there. Now the corner comes in. Hit of Wayward. St George will be able to work it through McStay. Now Kashima with possession over halfway. Kashima. You should note as well, if the ball goes across the face, St George just outside of a chance. Casella. McDonald now goes to Hollingdale. Just watching the replay of that, it was actually McLaughlin that was involved as well. I saw Pachevsky go up high for it, but McLaughlin may have got a touch out of all that. My focus is on Pachevsky. He may have got an initial touch on it. It's now Casella in the area. Works it on. Right. Now the shot that goes straight to Nizic. Saurus tried to get past him, not to be. So now, Sutherland through Olsen. Too much on it, and the ball goes out for a throw. Didn't find the target, McLaughlin. Now it's worked across by Saurus. Cito over halfway. Poon works it across. Kashima's header is to the left of the goal. Should note, Sydney FC 2, Spirit nil after 34, and a red card for Spirit. So they're down a man. University of New South Wales lead SD Raiders at halftime 1-0. Then the game's in progress at the moment. Here we can tell you it's no score. Kokoda working it across. And now it's Meyer. And now Nicolau. McDonald on the right side. Meyer, Nicolau, Pachevsky. Thias, McLaughlin. Olsen couldn't get the flick on. Saurus, Kashima. Looking. Saurus again. Has to get himself in the position. Worked it on the right. Right back to McStay, and now right. St George on the attack. McStay, right. Touchback, that will find right. Right again. True's on a run. True tries to get it in. True beats the defender. Tried the left footer. Ricochets off Sutherland corner. Imagine St George will be looking for the goal here. Corner to be taken on this shopping centre side of the ground. Corner comes in. It's hit a bit away initially. Ball comes back to Calageru. Now it's Cito. Saurus. Flag is up offside. So now, Nizic. Kokuyo. Nicolau. Over halfway. Sutherland looking for something before the break. Opening goal would be crucial for either side. Bias back to Pachevsky. Bias again. Now McLaughlin. McLaughlin and St George have it now. All right, went back to Casella. Casella over halfway. True won't get to it. The ball will go out for a throw. They're on the attack, the Sutherland Sharks. Nick Olsen works on the slot. Played away by Calagieri to the keeper. And Saurus took the mark he had to, but Hollingdale was in position. So luckily, that ball was scooted up by Calagieri because I think it would have been a goal to Hollingdale. Right, throws it, header comes down by Meyer. Now Sutherland trying to win possession again, but McStay able to work it across. Poon tried to cross it in, a couple of touches from Sutherland, eventually the clearance by Nicolau. Very important couple of minutes coming up. Sutherland know they can't afford to let a goal in, but they have to score here to have the advantage both on the scoreboard but also psychologically, because St George have had their fair share of chances and they'll probably be disappointed they don't lead 1-0 themselves. Giroud. A spark in this St George side of the defensive line. Saurus. Touch on by Tuyoka. McStay. Sends it to True on the run. True tried to work it back inside. Pachevsky got the touch on it. Corner called. McStay once again to take the corner. It will be an in-swinger for Chris McStay. Works it in. Drops back. Caligiero off bodies. Eventually wayward wide it goes. Possession once more. Saurus trying to work it back inside. Shrew taken down the challenge, foul called. There is a goal here for either side if they want it before the break. Said before, the boys from St George will be hoping they can take advantage of this. Same as Sutherland. You imagine Casella has got an idea here. He works it in. It didn't quite climb the way he wanted it to. I should say deviate down more so, as all eyes will be on the board. Interesting, it might be 5 minutes I'm seeing on the board. No, it's 2 minutes. It wouldn't be 5 minutes, it'd be 2 minutes. Just having a look here. It'd be 2 minutes, just adjusted it to be exact. And there's the mascot. You know what needs to be done, right? At half time, we need to get the DJ to play Baby Shark to get all the kids excited. It's now True. Loses possession. Hollingdale couldn't get the touch he was looking for, but he's going to win ball again. Eventually, Caligiero works it to his left. Here comes St George. Poon looking for runners. Poon. Back heel. Casella back to Poon. Casella once more. Over the top. Kimishima couldn't get it down again. It's just not working for either side at the moment. But we can tell you, we've got a game on our hands. 2 minutes of initial time added on. Hope you're enjoying this one coming your way from Seymour Shore, in the southern part of Sydney. Nizic over halfway. Ball comes down again. Ball will drop back to Pachevsky. Pachevsky's able to go back to Nizic. Daniel Nizic is over halfway now, this ball. Hollingdale the target. Can't get control. Right, loses it. Now, Kokoro found Hollingdale. Spins back. Meyer works it wide. McDonald back inside. Chance of Fuka! Not to be. Score remains 0-0. Couldn't get the left footer to go across. But we have got entertainment personified here at Seymour. Ball was worked up to the right side for St George. Casella tried to head it in, but the ball did go out. So Sutherland have at least 30 seconds to put something on. McLaughlin works it to Afuka, then no control by Kokoro. The ball spills back to McDonald. McDonald beats one defender, works it to Nicolau, has to send the ball into the mixer. Nicolau does so, cleared away by Saurus. Headed back by Meyer. Nicolau again. Meyer back. McDonald. Thiers. Will he have a crack himself? He decides to go right. Ball is bouncing at half time. 0-0. Well, entertainment here between Sutherland and St George, despite the fact that 0-0 score is on the board, but it is an entertaining game nonetheless. Hope you're enjoying it on this Saturday afternoon. So 0-0 here to report. University of New South Wales halftime 1, SD Raiders 0, and Spirit 0 with a red card, 2 for Sydney FC in that contest at the Arctic Circle. Halftime here though, 0-0 between Sutherland and St George in what is a classic game in the build. I know it's 0-0, but I tell you what, both sides have had their chances. We'll be back soon for the second half.
Third Myers come off. Number 10 and number 17, Richard Shawiki, makes his way onto the pitch.
Back at Seymour Shaw. Half-time, no score on the board. Richard Shawiki is on the pitch as we speak. So there's a substitution for Sutherland. Richard Shawiki will be watching him with a lot of interest. Both sides haven't capitalised on their chances yet, but we know it's going to change. Now, we have been told there has been changes, well, one change. I mentioned how Antonis was initially going to start, and then all of a sudden we saw Kimishima on the pitch. So, Kimishima starts. Antonis is dressed, but he's not listed now on the team list that's been updated. So the bench for St George, Rocco Smith, Troy Danaskos, Mark Grodic, Harry Keys, Java Rodriguez is the man that comes in. Harrison Farrow is also on the bench with Sebastian Laluz, the sub-goalkeeper. As I mentioned, Sutherland have made a change. Brendan Gans on the bench, though. Miloslav Popovic alongside the sub-goalkeeper and James Hosoi. Gian Ferreze, Ty McGowan, and Lucas Webber. As I said, Richard Shawiki is on the pitch. Nick Olsen just having a chat to him. St George are back out on the field too. What a second half this is going to be. You might think it's a bit of hyperbole, but to be honest, I think we've got an entertaining second half on our hands. Here we go. St George, what can they offer up in the early stages? Ball goes over the top of McDonald, who lets it go out for a throw. We knew it was going to be a cracking game in the making, this. We know how important it is for both sides as Kalajiru works it back to Saurus. Ball drops just outside St George's 18-yard. Cito to halfway. Over the top of Nicolau, Kuchevsky, Olsen, McDonald. Nice touch by Shawiki. Olsen back inside. Chol wasn't there by Kokoro. So, if I'm right in saying, I think it's Tarek Maya who's off the pitch. I think that's a substitution. Looking for his highlighter boots. And that is the case. So he's definitely off the field. Fukin out. Hollingdale. Kokoro. Fuka. Nicolau. Works it to his right. McDonald. Nicolau. Fuka. When will the trigger be pulled? Ball was dribbling back inside the 6-yard box. Had to be cleared away. Did so by Kimishima. Will be a throw on this broadcast side for Sutherland, who will be looking for this goal. Corner comes in. Again, St George able to boot it towards the right sideline for them. There'll be a throw on the eastern side. Nicolau and Olsen combining. Nicolau spinning back. Touched by True, still on the field of play. True wins it. Donald trying to get it on the deck, couldn't. Olsen. Hollingdale. True. Good work. Now works it on. Chance in the building for St. George. Casella worked it. Touches off Sutherland and goes out for a throw. Yuka with possession now. Saurus. Right. Yuka to McStay. On a card already, McStay. Works it. True back. Poon able to find support. Kimishima. And the touch on was nice by Sito and then worked deep by Wright. Couldn't set it up there. Casella. And how Afuka has it for Sutherland. Kokoro. And now Hollingdale. Nicolau. McDonald. Nicolau on halfway. Pachevsky. McLaughlin, nice ball. Fuka back. Kuyo across. Nicolau. McDonald. McDonald. Back to Nicolau. Works in the slot. Head of the way. Fuka can't get to it. McLaughlin. Afuka. Afuka now. Spinning himself in position. Afuka needs to square it in. One by St. George. Clearance. Wright has it on the right. McStay back to Wright. Sutherland looking for something. Wright, can he control? Kukuyo is there. Will eventually will go out, but the foul has been called to the way of Sutherland. So a couple of yards in from the eastern side. Olsen is there. It's not autumn yet, obviously, but you can see the leaves on the pitch. Sutherland looking for their opening goal of the game. They've only scored one goal this season. Olsen works it in. The header goes up and wide. McLaughlin was the man. And the score remains 0-0. Who do you want to be in this situation? Olsen. Olsen trying to control the ball. True couldn't win it. Hollingdale. Nice work. Hollingdale to his left. Afuka calling to work it left. McLaughlin. Ball inside. Shrike couldn't get the initial touch. The shot fired in. No flag up. McDonald can't believe it. Flag is up. Fans not happy. Just watching the setup of Fuka. Found McLaughlin on the run. Works it in. You be the judge at home. But the score here, 0-0. Olsen lobbing it up. And it comes down. St. George wants something here. Sutherland, though. Kuro tried to get somewhat controlled, couldn't really. It was lobbed up by Saurus, though. Nicolau. McStay. Hollingdale gives away a foul. So now, ball went out for a corner. St. George looking and circulating this one. McStay to take it. Working the 10th minute of the second half. McStay looking for support here. Can see Tuyuka in position. Ball comes across, it's cleared by Afuka from Sutherland. Now it's Sito. St. George looking for something back right. Right. Casella. Shut down. Wakakuyo. Now again. Sutherland able to clear it. Through Pachevsky. Kalajeru. Pressure by Shweke. Shweke. We know what he can produce for Sutherland. Shweke. We'll be watching him in this second half. Around the grounds we go. First, the University of New South Wales. It's 1-0. Uni leading SD Raiders. Spirit 0. FC 2. That's 54 gone second half. And I should note 70th minute for University of New South and SD. Some good games this weekend tonight. What about Rockdale and Blacktown City? You know, that's going to be a cracking game, as we're about to see Farrow come onto the field. Harrison Farrow for St. George. Saurus worked it back, and then McStay touchback. Now Toyoka works it on to McStay again. McStay looking, prodding. Here come Sutherland again on the turn. Now called. It's a change being made for St. George. Farrow comes on. I think that might be Jack True. That might be the one that they're going to call off in a second. I think. I sneakily saw that on the board. Now, Sutherland in the circle. Nicolau. Pachevsky. Chance looming. Shurike heads it down for nobody. Saurus picks it up. Ball over halfway. Pachevsky. Another header, McDonald. McStay can't control. Here's Olsen on the run. McStay's on the deck. Olsen to Shurike. Hollingdale is his target. Shurike, nice ball. Hollingdale can't get the cross in. Ball goes out for a goal kick. McStay still on the deck. McStay still on the ground. And now everybody comes to see if he's okay. So True about to come off the pitch. And to come on will be in Harrison Farrow. Next day, we'll do the off-on situation. I know I keep on saying you can feel a goal is coming, but it's a matter of when, not if, to my mind. Just looking, David Perkovic, the coach of Sutherland, wearing the longies today, has been mentioned one of the sharpest dressers in NPL coaching. Did a fantastic job in the Australian Championship last year, McCombs. I know that some will call him the cool-looking geography teacher. There's a substitution now being made. So as I said, off the pitch will be True. On the pitch will be Farrow. So the ball is worked back by Nicolau. Daniel Nezic working it over halfway. Ball goes out. Don't forget NPL.nsw.com.au is where you can find out all the information you need about this competition. And also League 1 and League 2. Remember, League 1 match of the week every week as well. NPL Women's not too far away from their season to commence, and every game will be live and free. And on demand on YouTube as well. It's taken down is Hollingdale. Just a foul from Wright. Of course, a very important year again in this competition. The first, as we see Sutherland a chance. Shrike can't get to the ball. Eventually it's cleared away. I was just going to say, the team first past the post that is not in the Australian Championship will qualify into the competition. So obviously last year Spirit made it through that situation. There's now Fuka to his left. McLaughlin now outside the area. He goes back to Hollingdale, and Hollingdale utilises Thias. And now it's Nicolau to his right. Nice ball, McDonald. Olsen outside the area. Back to McDonald. Nicolau. Hollingdale. Thias. McLaughlin. Shrike was calling for it. Fuka over the target. Hollingdale again. Lobbed it up. Shrike! Wrong side of the netting. Score remains 0-0. So obviously the New South Wales teams that are already in, United, Olympic, Marconi, Wollongong, Apia, and the Wolves. What a competition it was last year, the Australian Championship. Is now on the run. It's Farrow. Farrow a chance. Great work by Nezic. Looming large, but he's on the deck in pain. Need to watch the replay, but dare I say, he put everything on the line on that situation. And I mean everything. Just seeing the vision coming through. YouTube is where you can see everything. Farrow comes. Jeez, he absolutely gets smashed Nizic afterwards. Hopefully he'll be okay. I was just saying before how good the Australian Championship was. And having covered it and went to a few games last year, it was terrific. The football we saw in that competition and the players we saw and the opportunities. We all know, and I mentioned in the first half, the Yamamoto goal that went viral, but also all the other moments. The Marconi Apia epic at Leichhardt. The coverage as well on SBS. It was a big competition. And I think a lot of teams that are in the NPL that are not quite in the Australian Championship, but now there's the qualifying route, have gone, we want to be involved. We want to be in this. And Sutherland are one of those teams. Spirit last year, they did very well. They did not disgrace themselves at all. And a chance, obviously, this year for whoever is the top qualifier, that obviously is after you take out those teams that are already included from NPL New South Wales men's. Now an opportunity. McStay was jogging around. That's how he starts his corner process. You can see it now. Comes in. Head of the way. Drops again. Should note Farrow just being allowed back onto the pitch now after being off. St George on the attack still. Ball coming across. Farrow was the target. No goal. Going way over. And the score remains 0-0. Around the ground, Sydney FC 3, Spirit 0 after 65. University of New South Wales 1, SD Raiders 0. And Rockdale Blacktown is your game tonight. What a game that's going to be. Apia, no score against, or I should say Apia 2-2 against Manly yesterday rather. And games tomorrow, Wollongong and Marconi, Olympic and St George City. That game was scheduled for today but has been moved to tomorrow. And Sydney United and the Wanderers. So that's our games in week 3 of the NPL Men's New South Wales. Hope you're enjoying it, wherever you may be, right around this planet. Is now Mishima loses possession, trying to win it back. McDonald taken down, the ball went out. Throw that goes to Olsen. Mishima hit it by Nicolau. Shweke trying to control. Shweke. Now Sutherland. Shweke again. Great defence. Toyoka clearing it away. Next week, St George take on University of New South Wales at Barton Park. Sutherland to make a travel to Blacktown next week. There are games in the NPL Men's New South Wales. Great to be back in 2026. And as Olsen works it deep, ball bounces down. St George were able to clear it. McDonald's coming back for it. McDonald working it. McLaughlin will get to this. Worked it inside. Good work by Sito to just lob it, but it's been won by Kokoro. Kokoro taken down the challenge. Play continues. St George with the ball. Casella looking for support. Poon's the target. Ball, well, Pachevsky tried to clear it. Eventually it scoots back to Daniel Nizic. Moments of worry as St George about to make a change. The only thing is that the sub that's about to come on needs to do one thing, and that is take his bib off. That's the only thing I noticed. It's like maybe just the yellow bit. We're not training. So this is Harry Keys, we believe. You can see Antonis, he's just wearing the sand shoes. He is here. Must have got injured in warm-up. That's the only thing we can glean. We haven't been told officially what happened, but he was named in the lineup. We can tell you that. Which is a shame. I was looking forward to watching Terry Antonis at St George. So the sub, by the way, will be Kimishima. Actually replaced Antonis in the starting lineup. So now he's been tough. Kimishima's like, mate, you might need to take the bib off. You might need to take the bib off. So he has. Harry Keys comes on. Oh, the NPL. Don't you love it? It's great to be back. And as I said, every game live and on demand on Football New South Wales' YouTube page. And don't forget, the Australia Cup, Waratah Cup ties are about to commence in the next couple of weeks. Looking forward to what's going to be another great tournament. The ball bounces back. The save is made. Sortus swats it down towards Sito. McStay. Sortus. And now an opening for Farrow. Nizic again makes the save. Daniel Nizic just is in position all the time. As Olsen worked it on. Ball by Shrike. Then Hollindale's ball was stopped initially by Keys. Keys has got possession again from the McStay ball. Right. St George. Can they get themselves in a better spot? Man on the deck, a yellow card coming for Pachevsky. He's not happy, Pachevsky. Outside the area, a set piece to take. McStay will be the main instigator, you imagine. Casella will be to his right. $18 remaining regulation time. Casella is the wider one. McStay is also there. Casella over the bar. Score remains 0-0 in a game that you know there's a goal coming, but it's just a matter of who it's going to be. To mind you, a lot of people say my opinions and my foresights are just like the back of fish and chip wrappers. Both players are taking down the challenge. Hopefully they're okay here. It's all too flash when it happened. Just seeing the replay come through. You don't quite see much. It did happen off the ball, off camera. Both players get up though. That's important. McDonald will do the off-on situation as Popovic is getting ready to go on.
And some Australians are going to make a substitution.
So it's going to be a throw in here. Olsen takes it. Nicolau works it back to Nizic. Ball goes over halfway. Shrike the target. Shrike can't quite get to it. McStay. Shrike could work. Shrike a chance. Well, you have to back it and win himself. Touches off St. George. Will be a corner. So Popovic coming on. Coming off the field will be Nick Olsen. That's an interesting change. But Millie Popovic makes his way on. It's a big change though. We're about to see Marko Rodic also come onto the field shortly for St. George. So Kokuro to take this. Ball comes in. Head of the way initially by Sito. Drops back. And the ball is in position for McDonald to lob it. Shrike can control. Trying to work it across there was in Popovic. Foul called. He was taken down the challenge of Fuka just outside the area, or was it in? It was millimetres. Millimetres just outside. Millimetres just outside. Just watching the replay come through. McDonald lobbed it up. Fuka taken off the ball. I think it was right in that situation. Was. There's change being made. Watch Terry Antonis. This is great. As I said, late injury. He's out of the game and he's helping his side. He's telling the Rodic what to do here. What a plan for you to do, Rodic. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I think Tuyuka will be the man to come off the field when the sub is made. But set piece. Riley Hollingdale's going to be on it. Hollingdale works it. Header. Well, Pachevsky didn't direct it in a better spot. And Nikolasaurus makes the save. St. George on the attack again. Header by Farrow. Poon crosses it in. Chance looming. Wrong side of the net for Harry Keys. So the change is being made. Marko Rodic comes onto the pitch. And coming off will be in Kota Utoka. Tuyorka, I should say. Tuyorka comes off. Played well today, actually. It was good to watch him play. First real opportunity I've had to see him. 13 remaining regulation time. Maybe this is going to be an ill or draw, but it's an exciting game nonetheless. Ball worked over halfway. McStay. Casello on the ground. Nicolau. Popovic back. Kuyo. Fulka losing possession initially. Right, good pressure. Hollingdale wins it though for Sutherland. Here they come through Popovic. McLaughlin again. Fuka was calling for it. McLaughlin centering it back. McDonald on the right. Works it in. Foul called for St. George. Everybody here at Seymour Shaw is watching on. Sutherland fans looking and cheering for their team to get their first game of the season in the W column. As the ball comes back to Saurus. Saurus now will have to work it to his left. It goes up. It's been headed back by McDonald. And then lobbed up by Nicolau. Good work, Popovic. Pressure Valentrike. It's been won by St. George. McStay. Ball goes back. Right. Turned over. No control by McLaughlin. Poon. Farrow. Taken down the area. Just a corner. Going the way of St. George. Nizic is not happy. One iota. Casello will be on the ball. 11 remaining. This is a thrilling end. It's Ty McGowan about to come on. I think that will be the call. I think. Just having a look here. It's going to be Ty McGowan when the change is made. Corner comes in. Not the sweetest. Suros working it back. Harry Keys. Good work by Keys. Couldn't get the shot away. Deflects off. Here's an effort. Not to be by Poon. And now it's Sutherland with an opportunity. Shrike. And again, pressure. Challenge on Afuka. The foul goes the way of Sutherland. Nizic. McGowan to come on. Nicolau on the right. Nicolau over halfway. On the run again. Popovic. Back inside. McDonald can't get to it. McStay. Couldn't get the flick on Keys. Now it's Hollingdale. Good work by Keys once more. St. George on the attack. Casella once more. What's the options? The 2-1 against him. Foul called. Hollingdale was on him. Fans not happy. So an opportunity once more. St. George. Jaden Casella, the leader in this situation, will allow McStay to take this. Will be a right foot in swinger. Eight minutes remaining in this second half, regulation time. McStay in, far post, Nizic, good save. That's what you want to see from an A-League class keeper. Spent time at the Bulls. Now the support is on. McStay wins it though for St. George. McStay cuts inside. Will he pull the trigger? Nizic, another good save. Oh, geez, I tell you what. Isn't he being called to do some work, Daniel Nizic? Another corner. So, McStay to take this. You can see Atonis from the sideline helping his troops on. Acting as another coach. There's pushing and shoving inside the goal. It's all going on. It's all happening at Seymour Shore. He'll settle down. McStay works it in. 6-yard box, Nizic leaps again. McGowan about to come on. Gans also ready. Sutherland on the attack. Hollingdale. McDonald.
A silver Subaru Forester.
Shireki back to McDonald.
M85.
Works it up. Hollingdale going for it. The lights getting turned on now at the venue. St George are able to play it out.
AM85UN. Hurry.
So somebody's car's being towed. Would you believe it? Somebody's car's being towed. McGann coming on, Hollingdale coming off. McGowan is on. And off the field, I think you'll find will be a Fuka. Yeah, it's a Fuka. Throw comes in by McDonald. He gets it again. Back heel by Shrike. Yeah, can't control. Touched off St George. Foul will be called the way of St George. Fans not happy again. The Shark is in the crowd. One of the kids was about to take the head off the Shark. So St George on the attack, McStay. To the right. The pressure was on by McGowan. Is it just going to be a point for both sides? Now it's escalating again. Push and shoves. One's on the deck. Wow, was that McLaughlin that dragged him down? I need to see this again. Nizic has come across to stop it. Soros is having a word to the linesman. I'm having a look at the screen now. It was Gann who did the initial push. Was it on Evan Soros, or I'm just trying to work out who it was from St George. But then it was the effort by McLaughlin who just pulled him down to the ground. As I said, all happening. Just trying to ascertain what happened here. Yeah, it is Soros. Definitely was Soros. That was whipped down. Free kick goes St George's way. Nonetheless, a chance now for St George. Just outside the area all the players are. Now it's worked in. Ball bounces back. The shot by Wright doesn't work. Sutherland on the counter. Not for much longer. Wright, and then the header back. Poon to his right. Ball crossed in. Couldn't find the target. You know what Crispy McStay can do. Chris works it back inside the Poon. Sutherland have the ball though. McLaughlin works it. The run's on. Will he get to it here? Not on that occasion. Shrike. Great work by Nicolasaurus. So 2.5 of regulation time. Is a goal coming? Or are we going to be at 0-0 when the final whistle goes? McLaughlin throws it. Ball scooting back. Mathias. Nizic over halfway. No foul called on the challenger McGowan. Ball goes out, will be a St George throw. Perkovic not happy. I feel Marie. It's been quite compared. Here's a chance, Farrow. Works it over the top of Nizic. Farrow gets the goal. Is that the match winner for St George FC? Runs to the Sutherland fans. The Shalamoo Kings. All the players from the 20s come across to cheer on their man. Harrison Farrow produces what could be the blow. Farrow with the goal, and McStay gives the Sutherland fans a bit of a up your sort of scenario. It's a terrific effort. All day they've been trying to go over the top of Nizic. Finally an effort works. But we've still got time. Remember, we're about to see injury time be shown. Sutherland, though, will try everything here. Board. Don't tell me that says 8 minutes. I think that says 8 minutes on the board. We're going to be shown officially, but I think we've got 8 minutes left. I'll tell you now, don't disconnect the stream. Don't turn off your laptop, and don't you dare go anywhere as the ball goes out for a throw. 8 minutes has been added. 8 minutes have been added by the Larry Dooley. Got some news to tell you in a moment about a game in League 2 that's been postponed at half-time. Central Coast United, the Mounties. Get to that later because this game is just continue to build. And as I said, additional 8 minutes. Good ball. Kikuyo's ball will be stopped by Saurus. Sutherland trying their best. Another loss doesn't look good after 3 weeks. The team that everybody had the big raps on. They lost 1-0 in week 1 against Spirit. 2-1 against United week 2. They lost. Another 1-goal margin could be in the books. Though McDonald has it on the right wing. He crosses it in. Header! Oh no! Oh, the effort. Sutherland could have made it 1-1, but McGowan just couldn't knock it home. Oh boy. Around about 6 minutes we've got in additional time. I say around about. Up and about this game. It's only 1-0 St George. Saurus works it over halfway. Plenty of time to cook something up. Ball went over the top of Harry Keys. Farrow, the ball goes out. Touched off Sutherland last. So around the grounds, can tell you in the clash between University of New South and SD Raiders 1-1. So both teams have got a point now. And Sydney FC in injury time lead 4-0 against Spirit. It's all happening, as I say. Koyo works it back. Finds his target in Nicolau. Nicolau across. Thias is forward, I should note as well, as Pachevsky worked it to McLaughlin. He works it forward. Gann was on the target. But the ball is played out by Kalajeru. Kalajeru working it away. St George coach saying just calm down. We're okay here. Raphael Marie, I should say. Throw comes in. Ball worked into the slot for Shweke to try to get to it. Shweke will have to work it back. He's got Gann in support but goes further back. McDonald's the man. Now he works on Shweke, wasn't ready for the run. Oh, that could have been a good ball. But Shweke wasn't ready. There's about 4 minutes. Just under. We are in the closing stages of what has been a thrilling game. St George want the clincher. Had to be headed back by McDonald. Nizic working it to his left. Sutherland, a good chance here. McLaughlin left wing. Shweke the target. Shweke works it on. Saurus makes the save. But there was nobody in support running onto that ball. And somebody has to be on the far post in that situation or near it. They're on the attack again, Sutherland. Gann couldn't control. The ball goes out. That news coming through, I should note, from Central Coast at Plume Park, and it's not great news. As we'll stay to the play here, Saurus makes the save. So, Central Coast United Mounties has been abandoned at half-time, or postponed is the right term. Mounties are up 2-0, a storm hit. Much localised around Plume Park, believe it or not. Lightning strikes across the road. Pitch was underwater within 15 minutes, we're being told. As now Harry Keys trying to size up a shot. Did deviate off Sutherland, will be a corner. The corner they come. Who's going to take it? Corner housery going on here. Ball was played out by Sutherland. They want to hold that 1-0 margin. Yes. Yellow card given. Sutherland throws it back in. McGowan over halfway, taken down. This will be a card given. And I think that was right. We'll get confirmation, but I think it was right in that situation. As now, here comes Sutherland. An opportunity to build up here. Ball goes into the area. Nizic heads it. Sutherland still a chance. The ball goes out. They're calling for a corner, not to be. It will be a goal kick for St George FC. One more look at the timepiece. What do we got? I think we're done. I think the final whistle will be blown here. Harrison Farrow scored the goal to make it 1-0 for St George FC. FC is about to have 2 wins this season. And St George FC have defeated Sutherland in a local epic. 1-0 Harrison Farrow, the difference for St George. It's a disappointment for Sutherland. And now they're 0-3. And questions will continue to mount on David Perkovic's side. A game that will be remembered. What a contest we have witnessed. So much that has to be digested. And they will, when all the reports and the podcasts are all on. But full time, 1-0. Let's take you through what's happening for these two sides. Next week, St George are at home against University of New South. And then they take on Manly at home before their away to Olympic. That's the next 3 weeks. For Sutherland, oh boy, it's an interesting couple of weeks. They go to Blacktown at Landon next week. Wanderers the week after, and that's at home. And then they play University of New South Wales back here. That's their next couple of weeks. Oh boy, they've got a tough road. Shots, by the way, 8-14 St George. Shots on target 2-5 St George. Offsides 1-3 St George. Corners 6-8 St George. Fouls Sutherland 15-8. Yellow cards 3-4 St George. No red cards. That's the stats coming through. And scores full-time University of New South Wales and SD Raiders 1-1. And Spirit lost to Sydney FC 4-0 full-time. Rockdale Blacktown about to commence. You can watch that on the YouTube page. Wolves, Marconi tomorrow, Olympic and St George City tomorrow, and United and Wanderers. Hope you've enjoyed the action. Nicholas Kutniak with you. We'll chat to you soon on NPL New South Wales action on Football New South Wales and YouTube. Good night from Seymour Shaw with St George. Too good, winning 1-0.